The year 2017. Super Mario Odyssey just released with the Nintendo Switch, and I didn't have it. But as soon as 2018 rolled around, I obviously had to get it. Now, I absolutely fell in love with this game. I loved it. I mean, I played this game non-stop. I 100%ed it. I did pretty much everything that you can do in this game. But after that, I wanted something a little bit more. So that's when I started speedrunning. Now, I absolutely loved speedrunning. Now, I actually ended up getting pretty decent. After a while, after a lot of runs, I got my personal best of 1 hour and 35 minutes. And over the next course of the entire month of July, I hope to beat that time. Now, I was insanely rusty going into this run. I haven't played Odyssey in 5 years here. So, I had to completely relearn all the speedrunning strats. So I watched all of Smallant's speedrunning beginner's guide. Anyway, link in description for that. They're great videos. There are obviously a lot of very fun tricks in the run that are insanely fun to pull off. But obviously, since this was my first, real run in 5 years, I was super rusty. I bonked a lot. I forgot where moons were. But it honestly didn't go too bad, all things considered. And by the end of the run, I actually already beat my PB by 5 minutes. I got a solid 130. Now, I was obviously very happy with this run. I beat my PB, by a whole 5 minutes. That was pretty impressive, but it was not a good run. It was super rusty, and I didn't feel too good about it. So over the next entire month, I will be getting as good as I can at this game. So now, instead of trying to beat my PB, which I already did, my goal now is going to be getting top 2,000 in the Super Mario Odyssey Speedrun.com leaderboard. Now, in order to get that top 2,000th place, I must get 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 59 seconds, which I'm getting pretty close to, so I think it will be possible. My runs have been improving quite vastly. I have already went from a 130 to a 127, which is a solid 8 minutes of time save in only a couple of days, which I'm very happy about. So if this continues, a 120 will be very easy to get. Now, on July 4th, I was not at my house, so unfortunately I could not do any runs. So on the 5th, I was a little bit rusty, and I did not PB, but that was alright, because I had so many more runs to do. Anyway, this entire time, I've been hoping for a run that would be almost perfect. Like, I wouldn't make any major mistakes. Obviously, I would have a couple of bonks here and there, but no major mistakes that would ruin the run. And on the 5th day, that finally happened. I had an extremely smooth run. Obviously, I made a mistake here and there, but I have 20 more days of this. I'll be completely fine. But all in all, no major mistakes on any of the big tricks. There's just a couple of them that I have to smooth out over the next couple of days. But besides that, the run went extremely well, and I got myself a time of 1 hour and 23 minutes. And the run was only 2 minutes away from where I wanted to be, so I knew that a 121 was definitely possible. Now, going into day 6, I was feeling pretty good, right? I just PB'd. I was honestly feeling the best I have throughout this entire challenge. Now, day 6 went absolutely terrible. As you can see, I messed up many splits. Snow Kingdom split went completely wrong, and I was 4 minutes behind my PB. Now, after day 6, I was not feeling good about it. I completely messed up my splits. None of it was going well. I had a really bad run. But thankfully, day 7 actually went quite good. I was pretty happy with this run. I had pretty good splits. I had a much better run. I was only a little less than a minute behind my other PB that I had, so I was feeling good about that one. And everything went great. Obviously, not the perfect run, didn't PB or anything, but I'm happy for week 2. I'm looking forward to it. I think it will go well. So my plan for week 2 was pretty simple. I am going to practice one kind of harder trick per day and try to perfect it going into the run, so I don't lose time failing the trip during the run. Now, the first big skip in the run is Dino Skip in Cascade. It's a pretty well-known one, obviously. I'm sure you've heard of it before. But basically, all you're trying to do is jump from the trampoline up to the Madame Brood boss fight. Pretty simple. I found that it is best to kind of go off in that area. I found that if I land on this little stone here, it works almost every time. And then if my left foot hits the trampoline, then it works every time. Now, the next jump that I do struggle with sometimes is this jump here in Night Metro. Now, the first jump that I do, I just did for fun. You know, it's just a fun little jump. I don't even know if it saves time. I just like doing it. Anyway, the jump is right over here on this building. You're just trying to get onto the top of the building. I found this jump easiest if you slide down the building, because then Mario can reach his full height. Cap throw, wait for Mario to do a full spin, cap jump, cap throw, wall jump, and then do a cap dive. Now, after all this practice that I was putting in and almost 2 weeks of work, I finally had a good PB run. Now, this run was a 1 hour and 20 minute run, which does put me above 2,000th place on the leaderboard. So that's all I wanted to do for the whole month. So I was very happy to achieve it in about half that time, and it all went very well. So coming off of my PB run, I was feeling very good, and I was excited to see how week 3 would turn out. Now, week 3 actually started out pretty nicely. I was having a good run overall, went very well, very clean movement, and by the time I was finished with Bowser's Kingdom, I was 30 seconds ahead of my personal best. So my run was looking very good to be under 1 hour and 20 minutes. Now I made it to the final boss and I was feeling great. I only had a super small amount of the run left. I was feeling great. I felt like I was gonna PB, and then I died. Now, this in itself would not be that bad. Yeah, sure, I failed the PB, but it is what it is. The bad part is, the next day I got my wisdom teeth removed. So, I didn't speedrun for a couple days after that because I just lost all motivation. It was not good. This was definitely the lowest point of the month here. I didn't have any motivation to speedrun because I felt like I would never be able to get my 120 run. Now, after I took a break for a couple days, I felt better than ever to speedrun. I immediately got back on a run, maybe 2 or 3 days later, and I obviously didn't PB, but I did kind of learn how to do mech skip. This is a clip of me falling off of it. In the real run, I actually got it pretty well. I only fell off one time. I got the rest of them. It went super well. I was happy with the run. And by the time I made it to Moon Kingdom and finished the game, I was only 30 seconds behind my PB. So I knew that a run under 1 hour and 20 minutes was definitely possible, and now it was looking better than ever for me to get that. Now, since this is the last week of the challenge, I felt like I needed to absolutely perfect the run. Now, this actually really got in my head. I was resetting pretty much every run if I was like 30 seconds behind, which is absolutely nothing and I can make it up. But in the moment, I felt like it was just not possible. Now, I was resetting maybe 5-6 times a day before I finally had a run that I felt was good. Now, most of these runs weren't even that good. Like, they had a good start, and then I got to, about halfway through the run, and then it kind of, wasn't going so well. It kind of fell apart. So I decided that something needed to change. By this point, I only had 2 days left in the challenge, so I knew I had to do something pretty drastic and change something up because what I was doing was not working. So I said that I would not reset at all over the next 2 days. I would do 2 runs and no resets. And that's exactly what I did. I stuck to that plan, and on the day before the last day, I actually got a pretty solid time. I got a time of 1 hour and I think 16 minutes, which was much better than normal, and it set me on a good track for the next day, the final day. You may not expect it, but I just realized something horrible. I have not recorded any of my runs, and the whole point of this challenge was to upload a run and see how good I could get. But it turns out today was my only day to record, which was fine. I felt like I could put on a pretty good performance. I did great yesterday, so it was time to do the final run of the challenge. Going into the final run, I didn't really have any expectations for myself. I just wanted to see a good run, and that is exactly what I got. Throughout Cascade, Cloud, Lost, all those kingdoms, Metro, Snow, Bowser's, and Moon, everything was just going all according to plan. Yes, I did have my mess-ups. I missed a couple jumps here and there, and it was not perfectly optimized, and it was not my best run. I did lose like 45 seconds of time, but after everything was done, I was still quite proud of the run that I was left with. I have spent the last 30 days of my life playing Super Mario Odyssey, which is a sentence I would never expect to say, but here I am. And I am quite proud of what I've done. I've gotten my time down from a 1 hour, 35 minute time all the way down to 1:16:43. It's a almost 20-minute improvement, which is something that I did not expect. I was just trying to get my time down 5 minutes, but I am very happy with what I've done, and I would honestly recommend this challenge to any game that you enjoy, because speedrunning is just another way to play that keeps the game fresh and fun. As you probably noticed, I said I did this challenge in July, and it is November. So, sorry about that, but thank you all so much for watching, and see you all in the next one.